Shalom. Before I get this lesson started, call halal, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakah Kadash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and blessings also to the sincere believers, the hopefully elect of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, listening and learning. So the Lord got me in the spirit to go in on the devil once again, Esau, Edom. And what you looking at in this photo is a very tall and wide pile of bison skeletons, and you see two Edomites that are posed on it. Now, when you consider this very act, which was done back in the 1800s and the early 1900s to basically systematically destroy the so-called Native American food supply, because the Edomite knew that the so-called Native Americans, they relied upon the bison. They would follow the bison for their main source of food and clothing. So to eliminate that resource was to eliminate the so-called native, or who they would call the Indians or the savages, the undesirables. So when you consider the nature of Esau, it's nothing but really rebellion against the Most High. All right. The scriptures say concerning the Edomite that the spirit that is lifted up within him is not upright. Because you would have to be a seriously demented, diabolical, wicked, twisted individual to even give the green light to do something like this, and then at that pose by death. So we know who the scriptures refer to as the wicked, as the devil in the flesh, man. And I want to get this, just a short synopsis of colonial genocide, or the genocide of indigenous peoples, is the elimination of entire communities of indigenous peoples as a part of the process of colonialism. According to Patrick Wolf, genocide of the native population is especially likely in cases of settler colonialism. Now, who is the colonizer? The colonizer is the Edomite, the so-called white man. All right? They are the colonizer. What have they done all across the planet Earth to gain their power? When they went to Australia, what did they do? They systematically genocided the indigenous people of that land. Then they tried to go even further and completely eradicate them by breeding them out. What did they do when they went to Japan? What did they do when they went to China? When they went to Africa? When they went to North and South America? It's the same thing. Genocide on a wide scale. Why? Because they wanted the resources of the land. They did not want to deal righteously with the original inhabitants of the land. So in Esau's mind, going back to his spirit, which is lifted up in him, is not upright. In his mind, in order to get what he want, he have to get you out the way. And that's by death. Let me read down. It says, it is estimated that during the initial Spanish conquest of the Americas, up to 8 million indigenous people died, primarily through the spread of Afro-Eurasian diseases. And when you look into it, it's actually a fact that disease actually killed off more of the natives than the sword did. All right. But it was prophesied that these devils would do that they would come in that spirit. And they mentioned 8 million here. Well, it was much more than that. Because when you consider the rulership of Esau going back to the Greeks, Alexander, it tells you in the book of Maccabees that he slew many kings of the earth, so much that the earth was quiet before him. So how much killing did Alexander do? And mind you, these Edomites went out and made war with people that were not at war with them. You just chilling in your land, minding your business, having your society, then all of a sudden a so-called white man come along talking about he declared war because of, whatever reason. And you just confused. You like, where did you come from? Like, who are you? See, but that's how this devil get down. And He'll propagandize you. He'll destroy your resources. He'll come and grape your women. You know, he'll destroy your leaders. Listen, man, he doing the same thing today. Look at what's going on in the Gaza Strip, man. That's an ethnic cleansing of the land. That's a genocide going on. Netanyahu himself even admitted this. And he talking about Hamas this and Hamas that. Hamas was just used as a boogeyman, as a good reason, a justification to go into that land and take the resources, because the oil has been discovered right off the coast of Gaza. And they're also looking to build another canal that is important for trade in that area, but they need them Palestinians out the way. This is why that war over there is raging right now. But this all goes back to what the devil has always done, to falsely accuse you, come into your land, destroy you, and then take your goods unrighteously. You see? But yes, it has been much more than 8 million indigenous people that this man has slaughtered. Now, this was just the Spanish conquest of the Americas. So that was just one group of Edomites. But they've done this all over the world. And let's go to prophecy, because the Lord said that this will come to pass. Revelation 6 and 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. Now, who is that pale horse? That pale horse represents Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And as I read on, you're going to see, along with precepts, that indeed this is only referring to one nation of people, because their attributes and their actions matched the prophecy to the T. A pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him. Now, looking at this picture, this is what? This is death and hell, man. And let me jump to the book of Habakkuk 2 and 5, because this also is a precept to that. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, his philosophies, his wicked lifestyle. He is a proud man, rebelling against the Most High. Neither keepeth at home. So this man didn't keep in Mount Seir. He went out from Mount Seir, went up in Europe, conquered the indigenous people there, took it over, took their names, took their heritage, and appropriated it upon himself. Did the same thing to the Hawaiians. He did the same thing to the Aboriginals in Australia. The same thing to the indigenous peoples of Southeast Asia, Japan, Africa. He did this all over. This is this man's history. He neither keepeth at home. Even today, this man is in everybody's business, man. Here it is, you in America, but you setting up coups in Haiti, destroying people's governments, just like they did to Libya and Muammar Gaddafi, just like they tried to assassinate Vladimir Putin not too long ago, man. Destabilizing countries so you can go in, feed off of the chaos, and gain benefits off the resources while you keep the people there poor. This is what the devil do, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Now, going back to Revelation 6, what do it say? About the pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him. Habakkuk 2 and 5, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. Look, Esau got the whole earth. It was prophesied that he would have the whole earth, but is he satisfied? Has he stopped going out to conquer? Has he stopped shedding blood? Has he stopped lying and dealing in deceit? No. Why? Because he cannot be satisfied. No matter how much he get, he can never have enough. And you'll even have people here in America that have the same mindset. Oh, well, you should never settle. No matter how much you have, you should always be looking for better. Where does that mindset come from? That comes from Esau, Edom, because that's his mindset. Never be satisfied, never be content. Never count your blessings, man. Always want more. And the scriptures say that there's nothing, that the Lord hates nothing more, or that there's nothing more wicked than a covetous man. And Esau is that covetous man. He's coveted the whole entire planet Earth. He's coveted nations. He's coveted fields and took them away by violence. But gathered unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. And that's fulfilled in America. All right. The great melting pot where you have all of the nations of the earth here in one place. Going back to Revelation 6 and 8, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth. Now, what is the fourth part of the earth? Now, we know that where civilization started right? And the what they refer to in secular scholarship as the Fertile Crescent over there in the Iran, Iraq region in the so-called Middle East, right? That's where civilization started after the flood. Well, the Far East was known in the ancient world. The so-called Middle East was known in the ancient world. Africa was known in the ancient world. All right, Europe was known in the ancient world, but the fourth part of the earth was referring to North and South America and the various islands that are, in this so-called Western Hemisphere. Okay, that's the fourth part of the earth. They went out over the fourth part of the earth and what? To kill with sword and with hunger and with death and with the beasts of the earth. So when you look in this very photo, the beasts of the earth were slain with the sword, smitten with hunger and with death. This is what you're seeing. This is why you're seeing these two Edomites posing very proudly on top of who knows how many bison skeletons, man. Look how many bones that they posing on. And mind you, they did this in a record amount of time. All these bones were not even amassed within 10 years, man. That's the cold part about it. So Esau, Edom, he was built for killing. See, he was built to be, as David said, the sword of the Most High. You see, this man was created to be what? Let's go here. Romans 9 and 22. What if Yahweh, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? You see, so the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, which is Esau, Edom, the Lord is enduring them in long suffering because they have been set up to be the wicked upon the earth, to push a wicked vibration, rebellion against the Most High, to kill with the sword. This is why you see that their history and their actions have not changed. Don't the scriptures say, can a leopard change his spots or an Ethiopian change his skin? And the answer is no, because guess what? The Lord created the leopard to be what it was. Well, guess what? The Lord created the so-called white man to be what he is, and that's the devil. This man is going all around the earth and what? Has created a living hell. Even right here in America, his own people is crying out against him. His own people is calling this man out for his wickedness. That, the elites of Esau, Edom. All right. Which, one quick sidebar about that. You may say, oh, well, all white people aren't bad, but is that really true? Well, let's just ask this question, right? When the so-called white people could live good at the expense of the so-called Native American, the so-called Latino, and the so-called black people, right? When you could live good and you could afford a brand new car, and you could live comfortably inside of your home. By the way, you're living on stolen land. All right. You're still living on stolen land. You haven't repented. You built up all these cities. You have all this infrastructure, all this money and wealth in the Edomite community, and you've hoarded it unto yourself. The only reason why they complaining now is because they're not getting a piece of the pie. See, the elites with their NWO agenda, they gonna have all the power. They gonna have all the control. And the lower level Edomites, they not gonna have nothing. So this is the only reason why now they starting to cry out and expose certain things, because they see that their comfortability is about to be no more. See, but they were all complicit as long as the dark nations of the earth stayed under them. But now that their rulership is slipping away and they having a hard time in life, now, we all need to come together. Right now, we all need to come against the elites. But what do the scriptures say? Proverbs 11 and 21, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So it don't matter how many hallelujahs that you want to scream, how many we all need to unite. We all need to come together as one, that you Edomites want to, make that your motto now. Okay, which you've always been against the Israelites. All right. You hate the Israelites. But now that you come into tough times, now you want to say, let's all join hand in hand. Well, guess what? The Lord said the wicked shall not be unpunished, even though hand may join in hand, man. So there's no escape. Your judgment has already been prescribed. You see? Because the wicked of the earth, your time is coming to an end. You see? Because you have oppressed the Most High's chosen people. You have removed their landmarks. You have taken their heritage, beaten their language out of them. And for years, you sat high on the hog, idly by, and you went too far in that affliction. All right? The scriptures actually say that, man, that you took the affliction too far. All right? Because you was just supposed to have us in slavery under bondage. But then you went to the extent of separating families. All right? You started buck breaking Jake. You know, you started feeding our babies to alligators, man. Cutting open pregnant women's stomachs and stomping on the fetus, feeding it to dogs. You see, playing games with Jake. You know, Esau would put a band of Jakes together, right? And starve them for days. You know, tie us up. And then let us, let us loose like we was free so that, we would run it, into the forest. And then Esau would have his dogs. And this was fun to these devils, man. This is what they would do. Let our people run loose, and then, they would let the dogs go, bite up Jake, and they would go after Jake and capture our people back and bring them into captivity, man. Complete mockery and madness, just straight up wickedness, man. But hey, you know what? Esau think that the Lord forgot about all this, man. But no, the Lord sees everything that you did, and he remembers. You see? Hey, look, the Most High sees all of the doings of man, good and evil, man. And guess what? Esau, the Lord got your number. This is why the judgment prescribed for you is what it is, because you have gone around the earth and you have genocided. Okay, you listen, man. You've even made certain species of animal go extinct. You talk about human beings. Well, what about the animals? The white rhino, the Siberian tiger. What's another one? The bison, man. You damn near destroyed the bison to extinction. Just to name a few, in various species of insects which have now gone extinct under the rulership of the wicked. So Esau, you got a lot to pay for. All right, you have a lot to pay for, and your sheet ain't clean, man. At the end of the day, this is why the Lord gonna do what he gonna do to you, man, and you're gonna receive tenfold. All right. You're going to receive tenfold on top of what you already about to get. You see? Let me go back to this genocide, okay? It says that simultaneously, wars and atrocities waged by Europeans against Native Americans also resulted in hundreds of thousands to millions of deaths. You see that? Millions. So you're responsible for billions of deaths upon the planet Earth, man, since you've been in rulership. You've done nothing but kill with the sword. And according to Revelation 6 and 8, this is what was prophesied that you would do. From Alexander the Great to modern day America in the NATO and the EU, how many people have you destroyed, man? Directly or indirectly? It's countless. You can't even count. How many people have you destroyed in the land of Gaza right now? Innocent women, children, and the elderly that are not even involved with Hamas, that have nothing to do with this war. You killing them off indiscriminately. Of course, there's a 4-day ceasefire going on right now, but after that ceasefire is over, they gonna open up even more on them Palestinians, man. So you see how the devil get down. Like this man has no mercy. He has had no mercy. Hundreds of thousands to millions of deaths, mistreatment and killing of Native Americans continued for centuries. In every area of the Americas, including the areas that will become modern-day Canada, the United States, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, and Chile. In the United States, some scholars state that the American Indian Wars and the doctrine of manifest destiny contributed to genocide. And of course it did, because manifest destiny was this devil's justification for going out and destroying the fourth part of the earth, man. That was his justification that, I am ordained by God to go out and destroy. Well, hey, you know what? He's absolutely right. And the spirit was on Esau to actually declare that, man, because, hey, Isaac said what? In Genesis 27, 39 and 40, that by the sword shalt thou live, thou shalt have the fatness of the earth. So indeed, Esau was ordained by the Most High to go out and did what he did, because he was supposed to have his rulership for a period of time. But now it's at an end. So this man is on the brink of judgment, man. All right. So, yo, man, Esau, he and then he gave the natives Christianity, you know, white Jesus, white God, white angels, told you that you was a savage, that you ain't have no culture, that he's the superior race, right? White supremacy. But listen, man, the so-called white man got a lot to pay for. And he ain't going to escape neither, you see? The white man ain't going to escape, because what's going to happen to this man is that after he receives his judgment and he's in the kingdom of heaven, in chains, in bondage, guess what? People going to say, Isaiah chapter 14 and 16, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the houses of the prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch. And Esau is that abominable branch, man. He was the vessel of wrath, fitted for destruction, the man of sin, the son of perdition, which goes into destruction. This is Esau Edom, that abominable branch, and is the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. So the latter end of the Edomite is going to be as if he was thrust through with a sword. Okay? As a carcass trodden under feet. This man is going to be made to nothing. And right now, this man is the top nation on the earth. But as it is written, he that is a king today, tomorrow shall be abased. You see? So this man about to be brought very low. All right. His whole history, his whole memory, and the splendor of Esau, you know, the splendor of ancient Greece and ancient Rome, and the splendor of America and Europe. Listen, man, in the kingdom, all that is going to be a distant memory. People not even going to think about it. The memory of Esau Edom is going to perish from the earth like he never existed, man. The so-called white man is going to be in a museum in the kingdom of heaven, man. Listen, man, our children are going to have to learn what an Edomite was, because they not going to know. Because after a certain point, after they served a 1,000-year captivity, well, matter of fact, let's just go to it. Obadiah 1:18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. Not because I'm saying it, not because the elders and apostles of Great Millstone is saying it, but because what? The Lord has spoken it. This is the judgment that the Lord has spoken against Esau. You see that? There shall be none remaining of the house of Esau. And why? Ezekiel 35:5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir. Okay, so Mount Seir is referring to who? It's referring to Esau Edom, because the Edomites, that's their original dwelling place in Mount Seir, Petra. Google it. All right. Most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. In thy hills and in thy valleys and in thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. So this is the ultimate end of the Edomite. Okay? He's going to be completely destroyed. He's going to be brought low. First, he's going to be a slave for 1,000 years. And he's going to build up our kingdom just like we built up his. Then, at the end of that, it ain't going to be no more Edomites. There shall be none remaining of the house of Esau. That's what the scriptures say. You see? But yeah, Esau is that abominable branch, you see, and you know, the Lord has a controversy with that if Esau eat him. Because why? He is not hated blood. This man going all around the earth and shed the blood of the beast. He done shed the blood of the Israelites, most importantly. And he done shed the blood of all the indigenous people on the earth, man. This is why, as it is written, the heaven shall reveal his iniquity and the earth shall rise up against him. Everyone is speaking against the so-called white man. Everybody's speaking against the Edomite. The whole world is against what he's doing in the land of Israel to them Palestinians. It's a straight up slaughter. It's a straight up genocide, man. All nations want to get Esau out the way. All nations do. Because they see that there's no reform in this man. He's just wicked. He can't be helped. He's sick. But guess what? He was created to be this way by the Most High. And ultimately, this is why he can't stop doing what he's doing. He may try to be diplomatic. He may try to seem as though he's this upright, upstanding man. But deep in his heart, he's always devising mischief and iniquity, man. And you see the fruits of that all throughout the earth. So with that, hopefully this was edifying through the Rakah Kadash. In closing, call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom unto the elect.